So what's going on, Jamie?
Well, as we get ready for the third session of funny car qualifying, we're also getting ready for the final round from Brainerd. Ron Capps, you will take on John Force. Your crew chief, Ron Tobler, he said it best this weekend. He said, I've never had 2 weeks to get ready for a final round. What has that been like as a driver?
It's been fun. It's in a weird sort of way. I felt bad for everybody in Brainerd that we had to leave there and not finish it. But you couldn't ask for a bigger stage. And here at the U.S. Nationals, I've won here on Sunday in the Big Bud Shootout 3 times. So I've been in this winter circle here on never on a Monday yet. We're working on that part too, but never on a Saturday either. So this could be an epic Saturday night here in Indy, and all the guys live here. So it'd be a great time to do it. But look around, man. It's getting dark. It's going to be under the lights at the U.S. Nationals for a trophy, and some more points. So, Tobler's excited. He can't wait, and that makes me excited to just get strapped in and get it on.
Now, I've also heard there's something else on the line here. So, true or false? John Force says that if he beats you for this final round, he's going to give you a kiss on the lips.
He did say that. He said it at the press conference. And he'll tell you, sometimes his mouth is way in front of his brain. I just asked that he brushes his teeth this time, because last time he kissed me, I told him he needed breath mints. You never know with that guy what he's going to do. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you're kind of an unknown also. We just saw a picture on the screen of your painted toenails and the nice Napa colors. Does that have anything to do with that?
Well, my friends from Tap Out do it all. There's a lot of athletes that do it. And Chuck Liddell, a friend that's an MMA fighter, retired. I kind of got called out a little bit on Instagram, and so I said, you know what, I'm going to go do it. And I took my Napa Know How can, and the guy did it by freehand and put it on my big toe. So I've got blue toenails. I had a pedicure, a great pedicure, and I got to tell the guys out there, it is underrated, man. If she asks you to go do it, go do it. It feels awesome. So I'm in touch with my masculinity. I don't have to worry about that, and it actually felt pretty good. So, and it's probably the best toenails I've ever had in my life. So if we win this tonight, there's going to be a lot of drivers getting pedicures, I promise you.
All right, thank you, Ron.
He's a smart man, too, because there's 2 people in this world I won't cross. Chuck Norris, Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, they paint their toenails. I ain't saying nothing. But Ron Capps, I'm making fun of him.
If he calls you out, are you not doing it?
I just don't think Capps is that much of a fighter. I'd be fighting Force off, I'll tell you that.
Wait a minute. I remember a day where you woke up in a bed with John Force.
I did.
Am I right?
Yes, you did, but I don't snore.
Probably likes you better than Capps anyway, right?
I'm prettier.
So what will happen when John Force meets up with Ron Capps? Stick around with us and find out.
Back in the staging lanes with John Force, who takes on Ron Capps for the Brainerd final here at Indy. What do you think? Can you walk away with another Brainerd Wally?
The veteran that I am, it's got to be an overload for him, because it's an overload for me. 3 races in one. Brainerd, we got to give the fans what they wanted at Brainerd on ESPN and right here at the track. But I'm still trying to get qualified. I'm not in the show, and then I got the track since tomorrow. And if I ain't in the show by tomorrow, well, I don't know which way. Jimmy and I talked about it. Do we go for it? Go for the win? Do we go for just to put her in the show? I don't have a clue. I told Jimmy, you make the big bucks, make the decision, just make this thing fly. We're going to hurt some feelings, or we're going to get our feelings hurt. And that's about it.
Well, let me ask you a more important question. Are you really going to kiss Ron Capps on the lips?
No. I said that in a moment of emotion, and I don't want to embarrass him. I love the kid. He's a great kid. And he goes, Forrest, you wouldn't do that. And I said no. Maybe one day on my way out. No. Right now we're going to race, and if he wins, he wins. God bless him. And if I win, God bless me. And
just a handshake then.
Just a good old handshake. Okay.
I'll sleep better tonight now, knowing that I'm not going to have to witness that. As Sean Langdon makes a 5-position improvement with a 377.9. Vandergriff actually drops 1 spot because Langdon jumped right over the top of him. In just a few moments, we're going to fire up John Force and Ron Capps. We're going to call it the Brainerd Lucas Oil Nationals final. Let's show you. Go back to Brainerd. Give you a recap of how we got here. Capps in round number 2. Raced his teammate, Jack Beckman. Beckman trying to get into the top 10. Could help himself out, but we know already with Capps in the final, it didn't happen. But what a great race, and by a whole shot win, Capps took his teammate out.
And speaking of teammates, Matt Hagan, teammate to Ron Capps. Up against Alexis DeJory, but look at Alexis. Alexis, another great race, a 3:99 elapsed time for Alexis. Tommy D says, take that, Matt Hagan, your 405 ain't nothing.
29th sub-4-second run. That brought Alexis to Ron Capps in the semifinals. But you know what Ron Capps has? Ron Tobler. It's called Napa Know-How. And that is how Ron Capps made his way to the final with a 4:07. But it's not good enough for lane choice because John Force faced Tommy Johnson Jr. in the other semi.
John Force rolled it in like he does deep stage. Tommy Johnson has problems, but even with that deep stage, John goes up 4:02 at 319 miles per hour. Jimmy Prock had that thing flying.
That is how we got to the Brainerd final coming up in Indianapolis. What a perfect stage to settle this one. Under the lights here on drag racing's hallowed ground. Ron Capps, his 899th round of racing in Top Fuel and Funny Car combined. And John Force trying to go all the way from number one. Just 13 days later.
Lane, yeah. And lane choice is determined from 13 days before. That 4:02 by John gives him lane choice over Ron Capps. The fuel teams do like the left lane better when they get lane choice, but Gary, we've seen great runs out of both of them. I don't think there's a big difference.
No, that's not going to be it. But I'm thinking right now, Jimmy Prock probably did his normal tune-up. Maybe John made him turn it back a couple of clicks, which should be about a 98.
Now the other thing is John likes the deep stage when he's racing, and for me, I don't think he can do that because he's got to get in the show. I think he's got to stage that thing shallow.
That guy.
John Force, as you said, with the #1 qualifier at Brainerd. The last time a #1 qualifier won the Brainerd race, 2005, the late Eric Medlin. Boy, do we miss him.
Back-to-back races. Won his first one a year earlier.
Coming into this race, Jimmy Prock told me they had a pretty decent test last week here at Lucas Oil Raceway, but he said the car is only decent, that there's a little more out there, and that's what he's been trying to find, that little more so far this weekend, and it really hasn't worked, so we'll see what he's come up with on this tune-up very shortly.
The 17th time we've seen Ron Capps take on John Force in a final. When do you suppose the first one of those was, and where was it? How about 1997? Brainerd, Minnesota. This is in India. Yeah, check it out, Ron Capps.
Look at that.
His 5th win at Brainerd. That makes Brainerd Ron Capps' winningest event. Even though there'll be an asterisk, 5 with an asterisk. One of those came in Indy.
I don't think that's going to matter.
Nope.
I gotta believe Force had to have a cylinder out because he didn't roll it in deep, had a great reaction time, a horrible 60-foot, and it did not really run that well down the racetrack. Started picking up a little bit through the middle, but I'll tell you what, how about Ron Capps and Ron Tobler? That was a nice pass.
Yes, it was. I'll tell you what, Capps has got to be happy right now. He seemed a little nervous, but boy, I'll tell you, he got her done tonight.
Yes, they did. Taking that Napa Dodge to the winner's circle here in the at Brainerd at Indy. So tell me about it. How'd you get this win today?
You know, it's hard to sit for 2 weeks and think about having to run a final round. I've never had to do that before. You usually have an hour or an hour and a half. So, you know, we thought about it. We had a game plan when we came in here. We kind of threw a run away this afternoon trying to try a little bit of something. We felt we could come back tonight and take this Napa car. That's 3 wins in a row at Brainerd for the Napa car. So we're happy to have the win. Anytime you can beat John Force and Jimmy Prock, you've done a good thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And with Ron Capps, Charlotte Lucas provides the Wally. Boy, Brainerd's been awful good to you, but Brainerd in Indy, that's a little different twist. How good has this day felt to you, Ron?
Oh, long time coming. I've been getting messages from the track owners in Brainerd, everybody up there. Here's what we're going to do with this trophy. First of all, thanks to Napa. Everybody, they're in Atlanta right now, hoping Chase Elliott does good there at the NASCAR race. This trophy's going to go a la Stanley Cup. It's going to go up into Brainerd, and it's going to make the rounds. Every Napa store. Call your local Napa store. You can go in, get a picture, fondle it, pour stuff on it, whatever you want to do with this thing. And then it's going to go to the track, and it's going to go to where it belongs, and that's the zoo. Somehow we're going to put something up in the middle of the zoo. There's oh, here comes Forrest. He's going to kiss me. I know.
Look out, look out. Here's the moment.
What? No kiss on the lips?
He said he didn't want to embarrass you.
Hey. You know, he's the man. He's why we do this. He is. And anytime you can beat him. Thank you, Lucas. Mellow Yellow. You guys, so cool. Carlisle Tools, everybody that's involved. This is great, man. Take this to Minnesota and have a blast.
More work yet to be done this weekend. Have fun.
Yes, sir.
Ron's 42nd career win, just one behind Tony Pedregon for second all-time in funny car class history, and the unique opportunity. A Saturday win in Indy, couple that with a Sunday Traxxas win, and perhaps a Monday U.S. Nationals. Ron Capps, the only guy that can three-peat at Lucas Oil Raceway.
Good for him. I'll tell you, Ron is probably one of the best funny car drivers ever. And he's got to get an Indy win. He's got to get a championship, and I think he can probably do both.